I'm going to go ahead and do this live tonight, you guys. Okay. All right. So happy Sunday. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. Hope everybody got some rest. I was getting some rest, and I ain't going to lie, child. I had to wake up. I was about to be knocked out. She said, we can hear you. Okay, cool. Hey, everybody. Let me go on and put this disclaimer up. Listen, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about this story. Some of y'all, I saw y'all in the comments saying that y'all have already heard about this story. So we're not going to even be on here for a long time. I put 2 videos together that I would like to play, and then I'm going to do commentary on it. But before we start, let me give an overview of what this story is about, okay? It says, single mom turned trophy wife, the price of marrying a stranger, okay? She said, your Sunday dinner looked delicious. Oh, my God, it got me feeling stuffed. You hear me? I feel like a tick over here, okay? I would turn my camera on, but I'm not because I was laying down and I look rougher than rough, so I'm not even going to turn my camera on. But listen, you guys, this story is basically about a woman. She was a single mother. She got pregnant at 17 years old. She's going to tell her story in a minute. I'm going to put it up. She had a couple of kids, and she wanted the finer things in life. She didn't want to just be with just any old body because she didn't want to struggle. She didn't want to live normal. She wanted to live high on the hog, okay? She wanted a man that, you know, had some money. She wanted to be with the rich, okay? She didn't want her no average Joe. She wanted to marry up. And I'm not saying anything wrong with that, but you have to know what comes with it, okay? The consequences that comes with it, you know? Anyway, I'm going to show you this video, but before I do, the young lady that's in this video, her name is Isa Morales. She calls herself on YouTube and Instagram Trophy Wife. I think it's New Trophy Wife, but the Trophy Wife. That's what she calls herself. I want to just say this before I start this video. My heart goes out to her. This video is not to bash her, drag her, make fun of her. This video is strictly to bring awareness of wanting to date a rich man and not knowing what comes with that price, okay? And not just a rich man, but a rich man that you don't know, that you barely, actually not even barely, that you did not know, okay? A stranger. She married a rich stranger, someone she met offline because she wanted the finer things in life. So let's get into this video. And then, of course, I'll be doing commentary. And then we need to talk about it because this is a discussion that needs to be had. Before I get into it right quick, how many of you guys in the comments know Kevin Samuels? May he rest in peace. Kevin Samuels, he wreaked havoc out here in the social media world about telling women what it took to be with a high-value man. And he put a lot of women down by telling them that they wasn't what a high-value man was looking for. And a lot of women were very upset with him because he was keeping it 1,000, okay? He was basically saying what a high-value man wants. And it had nothing to do with your education. It had nothing to do with the money you bring. A high-value man wanted a certain type of woman. He wanted a trophy wife. He wanted someone that can make him look good, okay? Someone that can be on his arms and make him look good. That's about it, okay? And unless you're ready to assume that role, and sometimes within that role, you don't ask questions, you see things and you turn your head. You understand what I'm saying? You're super submissive. You know, you really don't have your own identity because they're paying for you, Okay. Now, this is not in every situation, but 9 times out of 10, when you come into the table looking for a high value man, those are some of the precautions that you will have to take. Okay. So this young lady thought that she met her Prince Charming. She met him online and she thought she had struck gold, right? She thought it was it. Like, oh my God, I'm so happy. This is, the love of my life. And then she turned around and she created a course to teach other women how to snag and marry quickly a high value man. So a lot of women looked up to this young lady because a lot of women want to be married to a rich man. Okay. Now, another thing before I get into it, let's be mindful that I've said this many times, the internet is not real. Just because some people come out here and show you one thing on the internet does not mean that's what's happened behind the scenes. Okay. So the fact that hold on, let me go and get this person out of here right quick. Oh, wow. This person is very miserable. It's so sad. Oh my God. It's so sad that some people can come in here and be so miserable. All right. So anyway, but the fact that people will come out here on the internet and pretend that they are so happy, they will smile, they will eat, they will laugh, they will dance, they will shop, they will make you feel like they are living in paradise, when all along there's other things going on behind the scene. Trust me when I tell you the internet is not real. It's so many people out here on the internet being faker than a $3 bill, okay? Some of these people are struggling when that camera turns off. They're depressed, anxiety, going mad, going crazy. They hating life while they out here living like the rich and the famous. And people be like, oh my God, goals, goals, goals. And you don't know what's really going on behind the scenes. Okay, let's go ahead and put this video up. Again, my heart goes out to this young lady. But let's hear how it started, okay? This was the video that she made to attract women and letting them know how she was able to snag her high valued man, okay?
My story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. And you can too. So, I had my first child when I was 17 years old. I intentionally got pregnant with my boyfriend at the time. Intentionally got pregnant.
Can you guys hear this?
Intentionally got pregnant and basically turned into a child raising a child.
Can you guys hear her?
My second child. So after having 2 children and being a single mom, I think that my self-esteem.
Oh my God. Okay, hold on. Give me a second. Oh, Jesus is getting on my nerves. Hold on one second, you guys. Okay, you guys, can y'all hear me? Sorry about that. I have no idea why this thing is not working. We have tried everything under the sun. I do not know why my volume does not work. I have no idea. We didn't try browser after browser after browser. I mean, at this point, throw the whole damn computer away, right? I don't know why my browser is not working. Jay don't know why it's not working. So anyway, let me just explain the story to you guys. And I'll just make a little video and upload the video so you guys can actually hear her part. But basically, I don't know how much y'all have heard, but let me just go back. So she started off with saying that she got pregnant at 17 years old, right? Let me go on and narrate this story for y'all. So this young lady got pregnant. Let me put her picture up at least so y'all can see who I'm talking about, okay? Give me 1 second. All right, let's go from here. I'm just gonna have to narrate the story instead of y'all being able to hear it straight from her. This young lady, she got pregnant at 17 years old. And then she got pregnant again, right? She intentionally got pregnant, is what she said. Then she got pregnant again early in life, right? So she had 2 kids. And then she met a guy and she started dating him. But then, you know, she discovered that he's not my cup of tea. And she didn't want to just date regular. She wanted a high value man. She wanted to be taken care of. She wanted a trophy. She wanted to be a trophy wife. She wanted a rich ass husband. Okay, let's just keep it a buck. So that's what she sought after, literally. So her friend, cousin, somebody told her to start an online dating profile. She chose eHarmony and she went after high value men. Okay. She was a match with this guy. She matched up with him or whatever. They went out. They enjoyed themselves. He asked her to be his girlfriend. She says, let me think about it. So they talked a few more times or whatever, and then they literally just stopped talking. She said it kind of like just faded, you know. She never said whether they had relations or not. She just said it kind of like just ended. You know, we just kind of stopped talking. And in that time, she met another guy that she started dating and moved in with him, okay? But that guy didn't treat her son right, you know? She said that she felt like the guy was just tolerating her son instead of trying to develop a relationship with him. So she didn't like it. She broke it off with him. She left. She packed her crap and she left. She claims the very next day, guy number 1 reached out to her and was like, hey, how are you doing? And she was like, oh my God, like what a shock, what a surprise. I literally just ended a relationship like yesterday, okay? And he was like, oh, okay, you know, and she was like, hey, I kind of need a favor, you know what I mean? So she said, hey, I kind of need a favor until I can get up on my feet. Me and my kids need a place to stay. Now, listen, I'm pretty sure y'all hear all these damn red flags flying all over the place, right? She told this guy on the internet that she and her sons needed a place to stay. He says, you can stay here under one circumstances, and that is being my wife. You're not just going to come as a girlfriend. You got to come as my wife. And she said, well, how spontaneous are you? Like, let's make it happen. Like, who does that anyway? But anyway, so she said that, and he was like, I'm very spontaneous. And she was like, okay, bet. She literally went and bought this man a wedding ring. Now, she said she only paid $300 for it, but nevertheless, she bought him a ring first. Okay. Now, I don't know if I told y'all this, but the man is 20 years older than her. Okay. Now, I don't know exactly how old she is, but I know she said when she had her son, she was 24 years old. So I'm assuming at this point, she's probably like 27 or 28. Let's just say anywhere from 27 to 30 is how old she is, right? But anyway, let's go. So then the very next day after she bought his ring, right? She noticed that he updated his profile on eHarmony. And she's like, wait a minute, you're full of crap. You're playing games. You're not trying to marry me. And he's like, yes, I am. I'm going to marry you. And she was like, well, I see that you updated your profile. And he was like, no, for real, I'm going to marry you. So he goes that evening and buy her a ring. Okay. Following me? So anyway, they literally get married like the next week and then told people later. They went to the courthouse and said, I do. They literally get married the next week. So from her breaking up with one guy and moving out into this other guy's home and marrying him, it was a matter of about 2 weeks total. Okay. So they get married and she comes online and she started this online on Instagram and YouTube trophy wife channel, right? She's teaching young ladies how to secure a rich man, okay, and get him to marry you right away, right? She literally started an online program where people would call in and she would give them relationship advice, dating advice, so they too can have a rich man. Then she would also make little short videos and stuff like that with her eating lobster, her eating steak or, expensive foods. And, she living the lavish life and her house was nice, well decorated, like she was rich, right? So moving forward, okay, I really would love for you guys to hear it. Let me see if I can bring this up because I don't even know how I can explain this part right here. But if I have to, I will. Well, let me just go on and do it, okay? I'm gonna pull my big girl panties on, okay? So then they ended up having 2 babies together. Well, 3 actually. They ended up having 3 babies together, a daughter, 2 daughters, and 1 son. She literally just had a baby like 7 months ago, right? So she came on yesterday and said, hi guys, or the day before yesterday, whichever it was. And she's like, hi guys, how y'all doing? Whatever, I have something to tell y'all. It's very sad, you guys. I really wish that y'all can hear it, but I can't get my volume to work on this video. But she literally just came out and told the world, brace yourself. And if you are a victim of any type of SA or R or anything like that, you may want to leave the room because it gets graphic, okay? So let me just give you guys a warning if you guys want to exit the room now. All right. Okay, so she came out and she was like, hey guys, I've been gone for a while. I had the baby. I've been gone for a while. I have something to tell you. So that's her in the white robe with her crying. She came out yesterday to tell the world that her high-valued man, the man that swept her off her feet and gave her this lavish lifestyle, the one that she sought after, right? The one that Kevin Samuels spoke about, high-value men that turn women into trophy wives, okay? Well, she found out that he was touching her 2-year-old daughter and her 4-year-old daughter, okay? Now, she said she noticed her baby had some redness, irritation, and she says, what happened? Like, who did this to you? And the little girl said, Daddy, okay? And she said she was so mad and upset. And she was like, she needed to find a way to get out the house and go to the hospital. But as a high-value man, you can't just leave the house whenever you want to, right? So she had to make up an excuse to get out the house with all the kids at one time, because she said that had she not made up an excuse, he would not have allowed her to leave with all the kids. So she had to pretend that she was going Halloween shopping with her sister, okay? So she said, hey, we're going Halloween shopping. And that way she was able to take all the kids. Well, she goes to the hospital and she gets her 4-year-old evaluated. They found out, yes, she's been touched, right? At this time, she only knew about the 4-year-old daughter. But then she had her 2-year-old daughter evaluated. And that's when she found out that the 2-year-old had been violated too. She was sick to her stomach. She was devastated. Her lavish lifestyle, everything came crashing right before her eyes. She said this was like a nightmare. She wished she would wake up out of a nightmare. Just imagine, right? You think that you married your Prince Charming. You think that you married a man that has put you in a position in which you've always wanted to be. And you find out that you married a whole monster. A whole monster, okay? That's why I said the price of marrying a stranger, it does not matter who that person is. You have to get to know that person, right? So anyway, she ended up being able to move, right? Now, from what we don't know is she didn't give us a whole lot of detail as far as if she's pressing charges. I hope she is. I've been looking high and low for this dude's name, and I don't know his name. I wish I knew his name. I saw a snippet of a photo because of, let me put that one up right quick. A snippet of a photo only because as she was sitting on the couch looking as lovely as she want, that is him right there in this photo. But I can't figure out who the hell he is because Lord knows if I knew. But anyway, but again, he's 20 years older than her. He was rich. Yeah, so he touched both his daughters. And so they're no longer together and she's filing for a divorce. And so she said, it's only right that I come out and be honest with you guys and tell y'all how my Prince Charming was my biggest regret, my biggest monster, the worst thing that could have ever happened to me in life. And she even said that he knew she didn't like men like him because that happened to her as a child and she expressed that to him. And then he turns around and do it to his own freaking daughters. His own freaking daughters. Now, let's talk about it, you guys. Again, I don't want to. This situation is very sensitive. Let's say that. But let's talk about the real issue here, okay? The issue is definitely the children, right? It's definitely the children, right? But how many of you guys would have put your kids in harm's way like this? Marrying someone that you barely know, you met online, and y'all went out one date. Y'all had one date. And then he calls you after a breakup. And you move your small children in with this man and become his wife. All because he's bank. He got money, buku of money. And not only that, she even spoke on another one of her videos that she learned being a high value woman. If you want to be a spoiled, not a high value woman, but if you want to be a trophy wife, if you want to be a spoiled trophy wife, you stay out of your husband's business. You don't ask him no questions. Who wants to live like that? Raise your hand. Who wants to be a trophy wife that you have a husband that you got to stay out of his business. Don't get in his way. Don't argue. Become very submissive. You know what I mean? And you let him do what it is that he needs to do. And then you get treated, get money thrown at you and you get to buy the nice things, the finer things in life or whatever, but you don't argue with them. You don't ask them no questions. You kind of stay out the way. Who wants to be with a man like that? Now, here's the thing. There were so many red flags. One of them I think that we really need to talk about is single mothers. Single mothers wanting a father or a father figure in their children's lives, right? We all want that. I get it. Trust me, no one wants to raise kids by themselves. I get it. But do you just bring people into your children's lives like that you really don't know? Where are their fathers? Did they even have the same father? I don't even know if that really matters, but where were their fathers? She wanted to be a trophy wife. She wanted to be married to a rich, well-to-do man. She actually is a word. What is it called? Let me see. What's the word? What is that? What is that word when you marry up? I forgot what it's called. Hamagamian. I might be saying the word wrong. If I'm saying it wrong, y'all put it down in the comments for me. Is it hamagamian or something like that? But anyway, it's marrying up. It's a thing out there. A lot of women want to be her. They want to, and not even just marrying up. I ain't even just saying like just marrying somebody that made more money than you. I'm talking about they up like they're more intelligent than you, make way more money than you, like basically going to provide for you 100%. Like you're literally going to just be there to look good on their arms. I'm sure there's a lot more women out there that are looking for rich men. When Kevin Samuels was alive, I peeked in on a few shows, and I would hear women call in and they would express how they wanted to be with a high valued man. Hypergamy. Yes, thank you, Tinkers. Hypergamy. That's actually a word, you guys. They, Tinker said earlier, as I was explaining this story to her, she said, it ain't nothing but a gold digger. Tinker said it ain't nothing but a fancy word for a gold digger. But hypergamy is a woman that wants to marry up. She wants to be well taken care of. She wants to be a kept woman. She wants to be a trophy wife. And she deemed herself a trophy wife. Okay? One that don't work. She get up, and matter of fact, she even, in one of her videos, she explained all the things that she has to do. She has to eat right. She has to exercise. So she has to watch her weight, because, a trophy wife can't go getting fat. You know what I'm saying? A trophy wife they have certain things they have to keep up. They got to prepare themselves the night before. Their beauty care, their routine, and all that stuff has to be on point at all times. They can't be walking around the house looking all thug and rough. You know how sometimes we be looking like how I'm looking right now, child. You can't be thugging it when you're trying to be a high-valued woman. I mean, a trophy wife. You have to look good for your husband at any time of the day. And she said it don't start early in the morning. It starts the night before. So she said there's a lot to that. How many of you ladies down below wants to be a trophy wife? Raise your hand. She says some men target women with children, especially when the fathers aren't active in their children's life. So she said, he did say, when she told him about the last guy not being that into her son, she said he was like, oh my God, those are my boys. Those are my boys. You know what I mean? So he led her to believe that he was very much into her sons. And now she said it too. She said, oh, he was so good with my kids. But I have to say this, okay? Again, my heart goes out to this young lady. But I just think that she was thinking about her own selfish needs, okay? Her own selfish desires, because she didn't need to be with a rich man. She wanted to be with a rich man. So she was thinking about her own selfish desires. When she married this man, she literally threw herself at this man. You know what I mean? She went and bought him a ring. She met this man. She didn't know him. She didn't really know this dude. Who says you can move in with me, but we have to get married? And I know you guys are going to say, Amor. They do it all the time in other countries. They have these family arranged marriages and stuff like that. Now, I would think, I'm not 100% sure, but I would think that the parents vet the dude that they're marrying, that they're going to give their daughters to. They know their background, they know their families, they know a little bit more about the whole family as a whole before they just pick them to marry their daughter. That's what I would think. I don't know if they just go pick somebody off a shelf and say, hey, marry my daughter. You know what I mean? She said, do you have a picture of him? No, the only picture I have, and I really don't, is the one that's back here. You see this one that's sitting on the mantle? That's it. I trust me when I tell you, another thing she says, if you're looking for a high value man, you have to be low key on social media. So she was very, very smart to not come out on social media and too much about herself. She's just known as Isa, ISIS on social media, but I found out her last name is Morales, though, and that's because she wrote a book and is in her book. So she slipped up there, but on all social media platforms, you only know her as either the trophy wife or Isa. So she said that, though. She said, make yourself not visible on social media or low visibility on social media, right? That's one of the things that will help you snag a high value man is if he don't see that you're out there. So I don't know who the husband is. I don't know the name. She did say he was a black man, and as we can see in the picture, he's a black man, and you can kind of tell that he's an older black man. But if she said he's 20 years older than her. So if she was in her 20s, he's in his 40s, late 40s. So I'm assuming she's anywhere from 27 to 30 right now. I don't know her exact age because she said she started an online dating profile when she was 24. But I saw a marriage photo of the two of them, and it said we've been married for 4 years. So the fact that she said they've been married for 4 years, it leads me to believe that she is anywhere from 27 to 30 years old. And if that's the case, just add 20 onto it, and that's how old he is. She said, is he from America? Well, he lives here in America. I'm not sure if he's from America. She just said he's a black man. She kept mentioning that. My husband is a black man. My husband is a black man. And now her last name is Morales. So she is some type of Hispanic woman, and she kind of reminds me of Cardi B. And is Cardi B Puerto Rican, I think? She said, does anybody have a picture of this guy? I wish I did, Wisdom. I wish I had a picture of this guy. I wish I had a picture of this guy. I would have already put a background on him if I did. Okay. She said, why is the picture still in the house at this point? So this photo is old. She's actually moved away from the home, and she is actually in this photo. Hold on. Let me put this up. Okay, so this was the house when she first came out, when she was trying to get all the women on her side to sign up to marry, to learn how to marry a high value man. She's moved out, and wherever this is, I don't know. This is where she is now. I know you can't hear, but this is her coming out and telling everybody that she made a boo-boo. She made the biggest mistake of her life. She married a monster. So now I don't know if she's back at home with her parents or if she just, rented a small place or whatever. I don't know where she is, but that's where she is now. Okay, Dominican. Well, she does look kind of Dominican. But I don't know. Her last name is Morales. And she said more than once that she married a black man. Okay. I really wish you guys could hear the damn video. So I'm just going to make a video and put it on my page, and hopefully you guys can hear it from there because pissed me off. I don't know what's wrong with this computer. Just made me want to throw it. Something is going on and I'm not sure what. She said her kids are beautiful. Oh my God, how could he do that to these precious babies? Because he's a monster. Now I think it was the internet sister, her and I was speaking about it earlier, and she said something that made me think. She said when she meet a guy and a guy is in his late 40s or 50 years old, her first question would be, why in the world is he single? And that's probably a lot that people don't answer. Give me 1 second, you guys. Let me see if I can, hold on. Let me see something. All right, hold on. All right, hold on. I'm going to try one more time just to see if you guys can hear this. I don't know if you will be able to, but just tell me. Tell me if you can hear this. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear that? Oh my God. I don't know what would make you hear it. This is crazy. Let me try one more thing. Just be patient with me one more time. Let me try one more thing. I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm just going to try. Jay was trying to tell me how to do it like this. Let me just see. I have a order into StreamYard for them to figure out what the hell is going on, but I'm going to try one more thing. What was the question somebody asked you? The more did she say he bothered her boys? No, she did not say he bothered the boys, only the daughters, both daughters. And you know, when somebody asked, is he from, if he's from America, and I said, I don't know, I really don't know, but I'm just wondering if he's not, well, I'm not gonna say that because I just don't think in no country would anybody think that's okay. You know what I mean? I think that's disgusting. And I'm not even going to insinuate that another country think that's okay. You know what I mean? Let me see something right quick. Okay, I'm gonna try something right quick. Hold on one second. I think this might work. I really would love for you guys to hear it. Hold on, it's doing its due. It's doing its due. This might work, but this is no way this thing should be doing this. After tonight, I am not going to show y'all another video until I get this thing fixed. You hear me? I don't care if I got to call freaking, I don't know who to call, Ghostbusters or somebody to come fix this thing because this is crazy. But hold on, it's spinning around, so it might be doing something. Give me a sec. She said, I hope she doesn't let him alone with the children, son and daughter, no visitation. I hope she pressed charges because you know how many situations like this go and the mom or the parent or the family member don't press charges. And so that's what I was looking for. I was looking for any type of news article or something because I'm like, if this lady goes and don't press charges, I don't give a damn if it's daddy or not. If they don't press charges, if she doesn't press charges, then, oh my God, that's going to be so awful for those girls. You know what I mean? Some people be like, oh, I'm just going to let God handle it. You know, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it in God's hand. Oh, no, boo. Yeah, okay, I understand. Love you, Lord. Love you. But no, I'm going to need to be, hey, you need to go to jail or something. You know what I mean? It's absolutely freaking insane. She said her boys are young too. He did it to his own daughters. I'm pretty sure he did it to the boys. Sadly to say, she need to get those boys checked too ASAP. Well, I mean, she took all the kids to the hospital, so I'm pretty sure if she got the girls checked, you know what I'm saying? I would think that the doctor would recommend, or I don't know if it's the doctor or counselor or whatever, but I would think that they would recommend all the kids to be at least talked to by a counselor. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's crazy though. And you know what though? For her to have been a trophy wife, she, in some of her videos, she said things like, oh, he took my daughters to school this morning. Like, why is he taking the daughters to school if she's some trophy wife? Shouldn't that have been her job? I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. Maybe I'm thinking like, if he's out there making the money and whatnot, she should have been the ones that cared for the kids, take them to school. But, you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm reaching. Hey, Vanessa. She said QC facts is not up to her once she goes to the hospital. That's what I'm thinking. She said, I am sure that CPS and social workers got involved. The hospital have an obligation to report injuries to children. Yeah. And she knows she's no longer there. So the fact that she's no longer there, hold on, let me hit refresh. The fact that she's no longer there tells me she left, which is a good thing because you know what? That's a livelihood that she left behind. I know that some women probably would have, turned a blind eye, you know? So the fact that she did leave tells me that, come on, is this going to work? Well, let me try. Still doing this crap. She said, I don't have a lot of faith in her doing the right thing. She don't know if he had another family since she wasn't allowed to ask questions. Well, I don't think she wasn't allowed to ask questions. She just said that she was, well, let me tell you how she put it. She said, as a trophy wife, if you want to be spoiled more, then you don't ask questions. You kind of like let him tend to his business. You know what I mean? So, she can ask questions, but then they will argue and she don't get treated as, I guess as good as she would have. Tell me if you guys can hear this right here.
Hi, ladies. Hi, trophies. Welcome back.
Can y'all hear that?
Channel. Welcome if you're new here. If you hear any noise in the background, that's the new baby. A lot has happened since the last time that I recorded. I think the last time you guys saw me, I was in my second trimester, and I think I did post an update in the community section when the baby was born. And I said that I would be back soon. And that was a few months ago now. I thought that when I came back on here that it would be to maybe do like some kind of newborn favorites or meet my new baby or something like that. But unfortunately, it's been a little over a month since I had to end up leaving my husband. I honestly don't even really know where to start with this, just because it's just such a hard topic. And I honestly thought that by the time I got on here that I wouldn't have any tears left because I've just cried so much. It's like I built this channel and this whole brand around being this man's wife and trying to teach other women how to attract good men and provide men and all these different things. And I truly held my husband or saw him as the bar for what every woman should, type of man that, or type of husband that every woman should aspire to have. And I didn't realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. So basically, when I first met my husband, I've already talked about in another video. I think it was my single mom video. I explained, a little bit about how we met, and I really thought that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man. And I believed him. I think shortly after we got married, and this is something that I haven't talked about, I started noticing like certain things changed with him. And I just started to see a few things that I didn't like, but I honestly thought that some of these were things that I could get past. It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh, God. So I asked her, I said, baby, did somebody touch you? And she ended up saying it was Dad. I felt like my world ended on that day. My husband wasn't home at the time when she told me, but I knew he would be coming home soon, so all I could do was just say, don't tell him that you told me. I just instantly started trying to think of how I could get my kids out of the house, because I knew if I confronted him or asked him about it, that he would just lie, and that he would probably just continue to keep doing stuff to her, but just become more covert or more sneaky or whatever. As soon as my husband got home, he was actually picking up the boys from school, my 2 older boys from school. As soon as he got home, I told him that I was gonna go Halloween shopping with my sister because I just needed an excuse to get out of the house with all the kids. And I knew if I said something like, oh, I'm going to the grocery store, that it would be suspicious. Like, why am I bringing all the kids and like packing things, like things that we would need and things like that. So going Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I have to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. So a police officer escorted the kids and I to another hospital where they were able to evaluate my daughters. It ended up coming out that he had actually been touching both of my daughters, who are only 2 and 4 years old. It still feels like a dream.
Nightmare.
Like when this first happened, I just kept waking up every day and just hoping that this was a dream. Because it's literally my worst nightmare. It's my worst nightmare. I myself am a product of RAPE. That's how I came to be. And was also, abused as a child by a neighbor's husband. And I specifically prayed to God that my children would never, ever, ever have to go through this. And I'm just not quite sure how this happened, why this happened. I just don't know how he was able to get away with it and so sneaky. Because of my own trauma, I watch my kids like a hawk. Like, I don't like them sitting on people's laps. None of that. And he knows how much I cannot stand men like him. And to think like I couldn't even go to sleep in my own house and know that my children are safe. Just by me going to sleep, my children were left unprotected. So I don't know what the future of this channel is going to be. I don't know if I'm going to change the name or what. Yeah.
Okay. So, can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. That was the end of that video. You could tell that as she talked, she got very emotional about it because it's almost like, how do you tell the story, right? But you have to tell the story because you painted a picture to everybody on that channel that you was married to Mr. Perfect. So now you have to come out and tell that, he wasn't so perfect, right? I mean, she didn't have to, but she did. I looked her up. Trust me, I could not find her. I didn't look up a marriage certificate, but I just looked up, her. And I don't even know his name. I wish I did. Trust me, I wish I did. But I'm assuming it's going to come out in the news. I don't know if all these cases like this comes out, but she said a month ago she had to leave. So I would assume that he's already been arrested. Probably, not prosecuted yet, but I'm sure he's been arrested, detained. And he's probably out on bail or something like that. But I'm sure he's been detained and spoken to, interrogated or whatever. So, I'll pay a little close attention. Hopefully she'll come out and put him on blast. Put his picture all over the place or whatever to let all women know that he's a monster. Maybe that's what she needs to do, She said, I'm crying with her. This is so sad. He was a wolf in sheep clothing. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. He was definitely a monster because, like she said, she watched her kids like a hawk. So she don't know if it happened on the way to school, in the middle of the night, or what. You know what I mean? You just don't even know, right? She said, I didn't see anything on them either, Maury. Yes, I know. I was looking. I'm like, wait a minute. How the hell do I not see anything on this dude? She said they are children and it's possible for it not to make it to the news. Oh, really? Okay. Okay. Even if he have to stand trial or something, because I'm sure his knucklehead self will probably deny it. This should have been done on the first live. What do you mean? Oh, you mean her blasting the pictures? Let me let y'all see another video since this works over here. I just kind of want you to hear how she explained how to snag a high value man. Okay. Now this is no judgment zone. We're not judging this young lady. Now, of course, there's a whole lot of red flags. We're not in the business of beating nobody down when they're hurting like this. But this is to say, basically, women, you got to be a little bit more careful in the selection of your men, especially when you have children. Like, especially, you can't just, bring a man home or go to his home like you would if you were single. Now, you're supposed to have precautions when you're single, like with no kids. But with kids, you have to be even more cautious. Like you have to, because you're not just thinking about yourself anymore. You have whole bodies that you're taking, that you have to think of. You have heartbeats that you have to think about. It's not just about you anymore. So the safety should be your number one. Now, I know I'm probably not the only one, but I was very overprotective of my kids. And we've already discussed this, me and some women this morning, but and I think I've already told you guys, my husband wasn't even allowed to spank my daughter. Well, I have one and he has one, but he spanked his daughter because that was his daughter, his blood daughter, he's not my bio child's father. So he wasn't even allowed to discipline her or even go in her room when the door was closed. You know how some parents just walk into the room? Like, nah, I'll do that as a mama. Now, I will say this now, and this doesn't work in her case. If it was her biological father, I would not have had a problem with it. But I was not about to be one of them people that you end up on news for your man shaking the shit out of your child and it ain't even his, or beating him to death and it ain't even his, or, you know, just overly discipline your child and it's not his. I wasn't having that. Now, if it was her own father, again, I would have, you know, whatever he did to her at his home as far as discipline, that was between him and her, which he didn't spank her. He wasn't a spanking parent either. Not when it came to the girls. He was very soft-hearted when it came to the girls. So if her daddy didn't spank her, you know, I wasn't about to let her stepdaddy spank her. Now, that's just me. I know some people say shit like, oh, if he's paying the bills, you know, if he's taking care of her, then he's going to discipline her. And you know what? To each his own. I'm just telling you how I saw things. And it has everything to do with how I was raised, you know, as far as, y'all know I was abused as a child. And my adopted parents beat the shit out of me. You know what I'm saying? So I was not about to let nobody hit my child. I just wasn't doing it. But that was just me. But let me see if you guys can hear this one right here, because this one she said a whole lot about how she met this joker. Okay.
Hey ladies, welcome back to the new Trophy Wife. Today I'm going to be sharing my story with you guys about how I went from being a single mom to a spoiled housewife in less than 1 year. And you can too. So I had my first child when I was 17 years old. I intentionally got pregnant with my boyfriend at the time and basically turned into a child raising a child. I, a few years later, had my second child. So after having 2 children and
with 2 different
being a
daddies,
single mom, I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. I didn't know that at the time, but if I think back about the kind of men that I was choosing, it definitely was a reflection of my lower self-esteem. I think that growing up, I was not taught the kind of men that I should be looking to attract and be in a relationship with. My mom drove into me, oh, go with the man that's going to be the best breeder. And I think society drove into me to go after the street dude, the swag type dude, or whatever you want to call it. But neither one of those was the best approach to going about dating and attracting a husband. So after having my second child, I was working hard. I was making really good money. I think I was making about maybe 90K at the time, which for me as a 24-year-old woman was good. I thought I was doing good. I had my own place, I owned my car. I was very self-sufficient, all about the mindset of, oh, I can do it by myself. I don't need a man, as so many of us modern women say, you know, I can do it all by myself. And I soon realized after one Christmas of it just being me and my 2 boys that I wanted a family. I wanted more for myself. It felt so lonely and it was sad. It was really sad. And it was, I'd say, one of the lowest points in my life. And I realized that I don't want to do this on my own. I don't want to raise these boys on my own. I want a family.
yes, that is their photo on the mantle right behind her head. That is their photo. And it's actually a little clearer there. If you look at it, I'm looking at it, it's a little clearer. He is an older gentleman. I can't make out if he is of African descent or not. He kind of looked like it, but I can't tell 100%.
Someone that I can love, someone that loves me and my children. And after that was when I decided that I was going to change the kind of men I was dating and what I was attracting. One of my sisters at the time had told me that I should create an online profile. And I was so against doing that because I was like, well, online profiles are only for people that are desperate and I look good. I'm not desperate. I don't need to, I can find a man just going out. And I was against it at first. And I think I also had a skewed version of what a high value man was at the time as well. I thought that a good mate or the man to go after was the one with the super nice car and a stack of money and the jewels and the chains on with the swag. Like, I thought that was the man that I should be going after, but that was definitely not the type of man that I should have been going after. And I learned quickly that just because someone looks like they have it together does not mean that they have it together. And typically the things that that person is probably doing to get money is not sustainable and probably not something that you would want to be involved in. And after learning quickly that everything that glitters is not gold, I happened to come across Shira7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life.
Can you send it to me, Gabby? Gabby said there's a picture of the two of them in her old Facebook group. Can you send it to me on Facebook? Talk about it with Amora on Facebook. Thank you if you can, or email it to me. Talk about it with Amora@gmail.com.
And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband. So I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. Yeah, she recommended Match, but in my spirit, I felt eHarmony. I don't know why. It's just something told me to do that one. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband. And it was very different. My husband and I have a 20-year age gap, and he was not the first older man that I dated. I actually dated someone like 10 years older than me, and that was just a bust. A lot of people have told me that I'm very mature for my age, so someone 10 years older than me just wasn't a big enough age gap for me to vibe with. It just wasn't. Yeah. And so when I met my husband, I knew right away almost, and people say that, but it was definitely true. And that sounds cliche. Just from our first date, it just felt natural. I felt like I just had known this person already. It was so comfortable. So we went to a really nice seafood restaurant, and it was great. It was an amazing first date. And mind you, I think we both were kind of just dating different people at the time. And that's definitely something that I recommend if you're looking to, find a husband. Is not just dating one person at a time. It's not good to put all your eggs in one basket, but we had a great first date, and I think he ended up asking me to be his girlfriend on the first date, and I said I would think about it. I know that the universe guru talks about how you shouldn't fall into the girlfriend trap, and it was kind of something that I just intuitively knew, like, I'm not just going to agree to be your girlfriend just after meeting you, because I know that you just want me to be your girlfriend so that you can get in my pants. So I did agree, and we both were, we were talking, but then for some reason we kind of stopped talking for a little while. And we both were dating other people and doing our own thing. And then I had gotten into serious relationship with somebody, and I ended up falling for the girlfriend trap. But that guy had really investing a lot into me and doing a lot for me, so I kind of felt like I had to agree to be his girlfriend because he asked me multiple times, and I finally agreed. So after me and him broke up, well, let me rewind. So me and him ended up breaking up because he just didn't really vibe with my oldest son, who was 5 at the time. I could tell that he was really just putting up with my kids. He didn't really embrace them. Sometimes, we as mothers can tell like someone's just being nice to our kids for the purpose of being with you, and they're not necessarily invested in your kids themselves. And that's what I felt like from him. So it just didn't feel good. It didn't feel like a family, the kind of family that I was wanting. So I ended up breaking up with him, and we were living together. And I just like packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my husband, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me like, "Oh, those are my boys," and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just be nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine, and that was one of the things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus the other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children. And so, he was talking, my lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, "Hey," it was so embarrassing to admit, but I was like, "I need a place to stay because my lease is ending, and I just broke up with my boyfriend, and maybe, even if it's just like for a couple weeks, it's okay. Just while I look for, somewhere else, because I had planned on needing to find somewhere else."
Who does that? Who leave a relationship and run back into another guy and say, "I need a place to stay, me and my kids, for a couple of weeks until I get on my feet"? Who does that?
And he was saying, "Well, if you're going to live with me, it's going to be as my wife, not as my girlfriend." And I was like, "Well, how spontaneous are you?" And he laughed and he said, "Very spontaneous." So then I was like, right. So we started entertaining the idea of getting married, like, immediately. And I, didn't want to get my hopes up. So I just said that, he's saying all these things, but I'm going to see what action he takes. And so I had just got paid, and I was like, okay, we seem like we're really talking about seriously entertaining the idea of getting married. So I'm going to go and get a wedding ring. We were talking about getting married like the next week, and he was out of town in Colorado, so we hadn't seen each other. This is all talk over the phone, over FaceTime. So I went and got his ring. I think I paid like $300 for it. It wasn't like a super flashy ring like the one he has now, which is completely a lot better. But I went and got his ring, and the next time we talked on FaceTime, I was like, "I did something." He was like, "What did you do?" I was like, "I got your wedding ring." So he was like, "No, you didn't. Show me." So I showed him. I was like, "Yeah, I actually did it. I don't know if you were really being serious, but we're talking about getting married." So I had really bad habit of like spending money, and I was like, "If I don't get the ring now, then I'm not going to get it." So I went ahead and got it, and that put the fire under him to, I guess, really go and look for my ring. Well, let me rewind. So then after that, I think it was like the next day, somebody told me to go online and check my eHarmony profile. So I went on there and I saw that he had updated his picture. And I was like, oh no, this dude is playing around. Like, I'm glad I didn't spend a whole bunch of money on this ring. Like, he was just playing. And I screenshotted it and sent him a picture. And I said, it doesn't seem like we're on the same page. So yeah, I'm done with this. And he texted me, he was like, or I think he tried to call me and I didn't answer. And he texted me and he was like, no, I'm serious. I am going to marry you in caps. And I think that evening he like ended up going and buying my ring. Yeah, he went and bought my ring. And the ring that he got me is not the ring I had now. It was a nice ring, but it wasn't nearly as big as the rock that I'm currently sporting. But when he showed it to me, in my head, I said, it's not about the ring, it's about the marriage. And I definitely think that that's something that ladies should keep in mind, is that if a man is going to propose to you, don't make it about the ring, because that can really turn a man off.
A man proposed to you. He didn't propose to her. Not really. You know what I'm saying? He said, you can't live with me unless you my wife. Well, I guess if you want to call that a proposal, whatever. Okay.
You can think that that's all that you care about is having a big ring, when it's more important to have the marriage. And I knew that in my heart. I was like, all right, I'm not going to say anything about the size of the ring. You know, it's still a nice ring. I'm going to take it and we're going to get married. So we ended up getting married the next week. Everybody was shocked. I randomly called my mom, my grandmother, hey, I'm getting married in a few days. We got married at the courthouse because I told him I don't need a big wedding. I'd rather spend that money elsewhere. And we had a really beautiful wedding reception in DC at a really nice restaurant. It was gorgeous. So yeah, that is how I ended up getting married. But I think that also something that I want to let you guys know is that becoming his wife and really being the kind of woman that could just get a ring like that took work. At that time, I had really become a better version of.
What in the freaking work did it take, you guys? Come on. We're not judging, but what work did it take? Just for you to ask, can you go live with him? Like, what work? I mean, I guess I'm just trying to figure out what work did it take for her besides saying, I need a place to live. She was basically about to be homeless. Anyway, let's go. It took work.
Myself a better version than the woman that was dating thugs and living in some kind of secular lifestyle. I had to become the kind of woman that a man would want to take around his colleagues and his mother, and be the woman that's adding value to him just by standing next to him. But yeah, I know it's kind of a interesting story, but
she said she had to learn how to be the woman that add value just by standing next to him. Add value just by standing next to him? Okay. I wonder how that worked.
I also helped two of my sisters to get married. They both got married in less than a year as well. So I'm really good at knowing how to get women the ring and to get the kind of men that you will be proud of. So if you ladies are interested in learning more about how to become a trophy wife, then please click subscribe. I would love to have you here. Stay tuned. We are going to be giving all tips.
Who wants to learn from her? Who wants to stay tuned and figure out how you can get one of those high value men that she got? Raise your hand. Raise your hand. If you want to contact Miss Trophy Wife on Instagram or YouTube, and learn how to get you a high value man. Who wants to learn? She said nothing she could teach me. He was having some strange things in the bedroom. I'm glad somebody is talking about this. Yeah, it needs to be talked about. But let me tell you something. As I was reading some of the comments, it was a Caucasian woman in the comments. And as everybody was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry this happened to you. You know, my heart goes out to you. My heart bleeds for you. Oh my God, I feel so bad for you. The Caucasian woman said, she said, okay, now let's talk about the real story. And she said, now let's talk about the real, not story. She said, now let's talk about the real issue. She said, what word did she use? She said, let's talk about the real issue, how the desire to marry rich goes wrong. Your quest to marry rich goes wrong, or something like that. But anyway, I just happen to agree with her because everybody is like, oh my God, I feel so bad for you. This breaks my heart, you know, and blah, 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 blah. But her quest to marry rich went wrong. She was literally what do you call it, Tinkers? Hypergamy. She literally calls herself the hypergamy coach. A hypergamy coach that is teaching women how to marry up, how to marry rich men. And she tells them the man needs to be significantly older than you. He needs to be significantly older. And that basically you have to learn how to be submissive and just kind of mind your own business while he do his thing. So who wants to be a hypergamy? And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with having a well-to-do husband. Trust me, I'm not saying that at all. But I would, if I have a well-to-do husband, I would rather have my well-to-do husband like LeBron James, you know, somebody that grows with me. You know what I mean? Well, we got it together. I was with you when you was busted and disgusted, and now you super rich, but I was right by your side when you ain't had shit. You understand what I'm saying? I wouldn't mind having a well-to-do husband in that regard, right? You know, somebody that became rich under my watch. But marrying somebody rich right off the streets, you have to know that it's going to come with some type of stipulations. You know, like I said earlier, maybe you might have to turn your head to some things or whatever. And I'm not saying every case, but I would say a good 98% of the case, you're going to deal with some things. But she was in search of that. And he knew it. Now, I'm not saying he did it to get back at her or whatever. He was just a monster. He's just a old weird ass, evil ass monster. Like, who does that? And to be honest with you, how many more people have he done it to? You think he just out of the blue? He has a beautiful wife on his hand. She's under 30 years old. She's a hypergamy. Yeah. So hypergamy is marrying up, marrying rich, marrying more intelligent, older, more established, more money, marrying up. It's what Kevin Samuels spoke about. A woman wanting to be a trophy wife and she want her a high value man. She need to possess certain characters. Now, mind you, she was a single mama of 2 kids with 2 baby daddies. She says, I feel really bad for her and her kids. No one deserves to go through it, but I think she had a lot of trauma that made her to make poor decisions and decide to ignore major red flags. Yes, I agree. Just because a man has money does not mean he holds any type of high value. We need to stop with the narrative. Exactly, Tangela. Yes, I think women need to revalue high value because I feel like I have a high value man. And trust me, honey, my check help pay these bills too. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like I have a high value man and he's not rich. So high value to me is definitely not what's in your bank account. It's how that man treats you. You understand what I'm saying? It's how he treats you, how he's, you know, I say how he love you, how he care for you, you know? She said, how much older was he? He was 20 years older than her. 20 years older. 20 years older. She said, what kind of money did he have? He must have had some loan money, honey, quick. Because let me show you a little bit of her Instagram right quick, honey. They live, she was balling. Okay. Hold on, let me pull it up right quick. Give me a second. Hold on. Let's look Miss Trophy Wife up right quick. All right, hold on. Here she go. Let me show you Miss Trophy Wife on IG. She kind of like, little flossed a little bit. Let me show you some of her reels down here when she's eating. These are her beautiful children. Well, this is 3 of them, but this is 139 weeks ago. So this is 3, but that's the little girl right there. That's one of them. But she had, that's the baby. And these were the 2 sons she had before she married him. And then that's one of his daughters. Anyway, but let's go to how she did things. Hold on. Let me move this out the way. You see her with her Louis Vuitton. So did you hear what she just said? She flashed that ring and said, money. Did you hear her? Money. Listen to her. She flashed the ring and said, money. She said the watch is Novato or Movado, and she's like, money. That's on one of them. Money. Oh, that's just a still picture. Let me get to some of these little videos that she. Oh, look at this one. Oh, wait a minute. How do you get to the reels? I think it's right here. Okay, now let's go back down. Oh, look at this.
Here and talk a little bit about Proverbs 31.
Oh, I may not be able to play that music. But anyway, she's making some lobster. Ouch. For her man, honey. Oh, okay. Somebody just texted me and they said they feel like the man was beating her ass and cheating on her as well. But we'll talk about her, me and her, talk about that later. But here's another one. I don't know the music behind here. She said a mother that puts her child in these environments is just as bad as a predator. Let me ask y'all. So the person just texted me thinks that she was being beat on and cheated on, right? How many of you guys think that she was being beat on and cheated on? Now, she did say shortly after she got married, there was some things going on that she didn't like. Tell me what you think. Who thinks that she may have been getting touched, beat on and cheated on herself?
But then it also gives you this really nice.
She's going to the part where her kids.
But JLo's makeup artist actually uses this on her. It gives a really pretty glow to the skin. I wanted to come on and show you guys.
All right, let's go to another one.
Where you wanna go?
She wanted the finer things in life. Guess she got the finer things in life. If that's what it is. She said cheating, especially if it's African. Who said that we're dragging her? Who said that we're dragging her? People be so sensitive. You can't even voice your opinion around here. No one is dragging her. We're not dragging her, but you can't, let me say this. You're not dragging her, but if you don't come out and say, a woman meets this guy online, right? On a dating website, and she marries him in less than a year, really less than 2 weeks, because they went out on one date, then she started dating somebody else. And then the day she breaks up with him, the very next day she gets into a relationship with this guy, marry him in less than 2 weeks. Do we not supposed to call that out as a red flag and tell people to not do that? Do we not supposed to do that? Or do we supposed to say, oh, do what she did, and I hope what happened to her doesn't happen to you? Like, you don't have to, we're not dragging her, but she made some mistakes as well. She didn't vet this dude. She didn't know this guy. She married him because he was rich. That's it. That's all. She didn't know him from a can of paint. She said, yes, you're dragging her. You can't even get flowers. I can't get flowers. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? I don't even know what that means. Well, but at any rate, let me continue on. I'm not going to argue with someone that just want to just tiptoe and dance around people's behaviors and act like their behaviors sometimes is not the cause of situations. No one is dragging her, but just like I would say in anybody, there was definitely red flags that she ignored. There's no woman should be moving in with someone with 2 children already and you don't know them. I'm about the children, and that was absolutely wrong, on top of wrong. She wanted rich. She wanted to be wealthy.
There was a time when I didn't have much. I mean, at one point when I was like 19, I had a Section 8 apartment with this one. Yeah, it was really hard. And
you hear her? She said when she would, let's go back. She used to be on Section 8, you guys. Listen, let's go back. Hold on. I didn't know that. Let's go back. She was on Section 8. Let's go back to her. What she say that at? Oh, this one.
There was a time when I didn't have much. I mean, at one point when I was like 19, I had a Section 8 apartment with this one. Yeah, it was really hard. And I always knew that God had more in store because I could see it. I mean, whenever we see things in our mind, God has the ability to show us, He has the ability to deliver it. And that time in my life was really hard. I didn't realize that, just following my heart and doing what's right for me really helped me to manifest the life that I want, the husband that I want, the family, the children that I've always wanted. And the power of faith is so strong. Keep your faith, ladies, and live as though you already have God there. Like, don't wait to attract that man to live your dream life. Create that dream life now. Like, treat yourself like a queen. I got some blueberries, bananas, some shrimp on can, some plums and nectarines, granola, just a little bit of everything. Just a tea, regular water. But yes, ladies, put some nice things together for yourself, but don't wait to start living your best life. Live your best life now. You deserve to live your best life now. And don't save your good china for later or your good plate. No. Use those good plates, get it out, spoil yourself. What are you going to use it when you die? Treat yourself like a queen, ladies. Okay, you won't regret it. I've just been having so many thoughts lately.
This tells me a little bit more about this situation, right? So she came from poverty, right? She was on Section 8 with her oldest son and she didn't like it. She wanted very badly a taste of the good life. Okay. That was her desire. Now, let me say something. God will give us the desires of our heart. And that was her desire. She wanted a taste of the good life by any means necessary. You know what I mean? So somebody said she got the nerve to be showing. Why you say that, Kiki? You said she got the nerve to be showing off because she was on Section 8 before. Hey, she ain't on Section 8 no more. She got the nerve to be showing off. So you mean to tell me if you was on Section 8 and your life upgraded like this, you wouldn't show it off? She said she got the nerve to be showing off. That is too funny. She said, I think greed led her to these decisions as well. Personal morals, money always. Trying to escape her upbringing and ran right into it for the corns. She married this man strictly for money. You can't even say you loved him. She didn't know him. You can't even, she didn't know the dude. She didn't know him from a can of paint. She said she married him and her mom and them. She told her mom and them after she got married that she got married. She called her mom up on the phone and her grandmother and told them she got married after she got married. She was out here living the life. She said, I'd be on Section 8 rather than be in this kind of relationship.
Welcome. How are you, ladies? I wanted to come on and do a little haul. Because I told you we were going to Ulta yesterday.
Oh, shoot. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on. Wait a minute. Where's Instagram?
Hi, Penny Hartwell. Hi, honey. So we got just a little bit of stuff. Yeah, I kind of was in the market for some lipsticks. So hey, Trophy. Hey, pretty to you too. So
Okay. She's just talking to people. So anyway, but beautiful young girl. I don't. This is her without makeup. In this video, she speaks about how you got to get ready the night prior in order to be for the next day. But she's pretty even without makeup. So she's a pretty young girl. She's a pretty young lady. But she made some bad choices. I don't want to say that was the her bad choices is the reason why what happened. But what I will say is I think that she realized not vetting this guy, not knowing this guy, and bringing her children around a stranger, because that's what he was, a stranger. I'm sure she would never, ever, ever, ever do something like that again. I'm sure she'll never, lesson learned, hopefully. But she didn't know him. He was a stranger, but she wanted the life. What would a man want with a lady 20 years younger than him? Now, come on now. Now, that's normal for a lot of rich men. A lot of rich men do not want to marry a woman their age. They want something that looks youthful, that they can totally control. They do not want to be looking at no cellulite, no droopy nothing, okay? Most rich men do marry younger women. They will trade their older woman, their woman that helped them get rich, and they will trade them in for a younger woman. I know of a lot of different situations where older men will divorce their just as older woman and turn her in for a much, 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 much younger woman. Okay? They'll trade that 50-something-year-old woman in a heartbeat and get them a 20-something-year-old woman. They groom them, they mold them, they pretty much teach them how they want to be loved, treated, responded to. A lot of them do that. She said, what's your name? Kimmy Cakes. She said, the more money, the more sicker they are. Why do I believe you? Why do I believe you? Glenn, you so funny. She said, Lord, keep me forever, young forever. Well, not all men don't want younger women, but some of them is for their own ego as well, But they do. They will trade you in for something new, baby. Something new, younger, tighter, firmer. Yeah, okay. They will do that. She said her family would have prevented this. You think so? Do you think her family would have prevented it? Her family, if she was on Section 8, well, that's not necessarily true. I was getting ready to say if she was on Section 8, I mean her parents probably was low income, but that does not mean that. at all. I was gonna say if she was on Section 8, they probably was on Section 8 and they probably wanted her to marry up. But I am not gonna say that at all because that's not true. She married this man for money and didn't even know him. I bet she gave it up on the first night. And I'm trying to give advice to people. My heart still goes out to her and her family. Yes, my heart goes out to her because, I think that she trusted him, especially they were married for at least 4 years. So it's not like it happened 4 months in. They were married for at least 4 years. So I'm sure after having 2 girls, she has 3 kids by this man, 2 girls and a son, and she just had this son. He's 7 months old now. Well, maybe 8 now because, maybe 8 months now because she just had the baby not too long ago. So I'm sure she didn't think that he would do this. So my heart goes out to her in that regard, but she still made mistakes. Absolutely. The person that said we're dragging, I don't know who that is, but we're definitely not dragging her. But you can't sit here and say, oh, her actions was cool. She didn't do anything wrong. Yes, she did. She moved her and her children into a stranger's home is what she did. She did not know that man. Period. She says, I'm a silent watcher. I thumbed up and I watch your ads. I am not a bush watcher. I don't have a bush near me. Love you guys. Thank you, Kiana. I appreciate the thumbs up and thank you for watching and even commenting. Raise your hand if you think that I am bashing this young lady. Raise your hand if you think that I am bashing this young lady, because Lord Jesus, y'all know y'all be trying to judge a sister for real. I'll hear about it tomorrow. Trust me. She's a bully. She dragged men. She's bullying the women. She said, you don't marry someone you have known for a week, especially with children involved. She was looking for a lifestyle. That's what she got. He had other women and stuff going on. Because you know what? I wonder, did he? Did he have other stuff going on and he did not cut it off? Because she said in another video, she said, if you want to be spoiled as a trophy wife, you ask less questions. You let him do, basically you don't bother him. You don't ask him questions. You let him handle his business. If you have to buy the ring, then you are pushing a relationship along. That's how I feel. That's exactly how I feel. She pushed it along. She said, people are too sensitive. Yes, they are. Jesus Christ. She said, no, you're speaking on her mistakes. Exactly. Why we can't call out mistakes over here, right? She said, you're not. You're just stating obvious mistakes. Thank you. Thank you. She said, Kiona said, I take the fit. You think I'm bashing? Tell me. If you think I'm bashing, she said, accountability is not bashing. Exactly. She put him on a pedestal and trusted him too much. She trauma bonded to that paper. Ooh. I think it's dangerous to do what she did. I watched too much Snapped. Okay. Anyway, but that's the life she was living. And she was coming out here basically telling other women, if you want this, you got to do it this way.
Easily, he sees her as valuable. It's just how easy is it to go and buy a handbag from Walmart? Anyone can do that. It doesn't cost much. How easy is it to go buy a Chanel bag? Few people can do that. Few people can obtain that. And that's what I want you ladies to act like. Not like the Walmart bag, like the Chanel bag. You are worth more than you are giving yourself credit for. And if any of you ladies are in any of these situationships, and being a girlfriend is a situationship, if there is not a ring on your finger, a real ring on your finger, then you need to walk away. And if you've been giving him, rolling around in the bed by your body, by the meals you make, you're not. In fact, the more time and energy you invest, the further away you are from where you want to be. When a man sees a woman that doesn't give herself easily, he sees her as valuable. It's just how easy is it to go and buy a handbag.
Okay. We gonna we okay. Okay. Okay.
Be full glam, putting on a full face of makeup. It doesn't have to be all everything at once. You can pick and choose. Like, at least make sure your hair is cute. Okay, get on something to look at. Don't just look any kind of way. If you don't have any makeup on, make sure your hair is good. Put something sexy on. You know, put something that isn't a old raggedy t-shirt and, you know, some pajama pants from 10 years ago that need to go in the trash. That's not what you need to be wearing around the house. Put your little dresses on, your little negligees, your silk robes, your, you know, those little booty shorts that he just likes when you walk by. Put on those kind of things. Do what it is that you know is going to entice him. It's sexy at home, and it doesn't always have to be full glam.
Okay. Anyway, just like I said, if you guys want to go check her out, her on Instagram is the new trophy wife. On YouTube, it is called Issa. So ISIS. Okay, or maybe it's Issa. I don't know how you pronounce that. But anyway, yeah, that's the story I just wanted to bring you guys today. She came out with it yesterday. I don't know if she's going to come back out and say anything further, like he's in jail or, you know, whatever the case may be. Let me look at my inbox to see if anybody sent me the picture of them so I could just show y'all what this monster looks like. And let me check right quick, see if anybody sent it. What is this? Somebody sent me something. I don't even know who the heck this is. Oh my God. Anyway, they didn't send it. No, they didn't send it. So anyway, I just wanted to bring this to you guys because, yeah, red flags, red flags, red flags. We have to be very careful of our red flags. I'm not saying that this could not have been prevented or it could have. And the reason why I say that is because it was his bio kids. You understand what I'm saying? I once told you guys that I had a roommate in basic training. They did a round the robin, right? And they had us go around saying, why did we join the Navy? Okay. And people were saying, oh, to defend our country, oh, to get away from my town, oh, to make more money, oh, to get an education. So everybody was having a different reasons of why they joined the Navy. Well, my bunk mate, when it came to her, she said to get away from my father, who has been the M word in me since I was 10 years old. Okay. Her biological father was M in her, the M word, since she was 10 years old and she was 18. So, of course, you know, that was her bio father. So it's not that it doesn't happen if you already know the guy. So that doesn't, you know, it could have happened anyway, is what I'm trying to say. However, I just feel like as a single mom, you have to take extra precautions to vet somebody before you go into that type of environment. However, it don't always work out that way because you can take extra precautions. You can date for 5-10 years and then boom, it can all of a sudden happen, right? So we're not blaming her for that happening to her daughters at all. What we are blaming her for is just not knowing who the hell she married, okay? Because I just feel like she should have known him a little bit more. Not saying that he wouldn't have done it later, but at least do a damn background check or something. You know what I mean? Especially if you meet somebody offline, okay? Thank you, Bree, for that super sticker. Do appreciate that. She said, what is her support system looking like? Situation like this can take one down a dark place, difficult to come out. Well, she has sisters. So again, I don't know if she's living with her sister. I don't know if she moved back home with her mom, or I don't know if she just went and got an Airbnb just so she could get several feet away from this dude. You know what I mean? We don't even know at this point where she's at. And you know, she probably don't want nobody to know where she's at. You know? Thank you for painting the purpose. She said different strokes for different folks. People base their values on what's more important to them. And that's how they base their endurance and will to live. Okay. Well, she knows she didn't want no broke joker. I will tell you that. She did not want to be with no broke man. Okay. And she also didn't want to go out there and work. She said, where's the picture of her husband? I didn't get it. Let me see something. Let me go to Facebook right quick. Let me see if I can go to Facebook right quick. What'd you say? It's called the Trophy Wife? Let's see. You said it's a group. Hold on. A lot of people are definitely talking about it. I'm just looking for the group. It's so many trophy wives group out there. Do anybody know the exact name of it? It's a lot of trophy wives groups. I mean a lot. A lot. Like, was it a certain? Oh my God, there's so many of them. Oh my goodness. How in the world would you know this one from any of the other ones? I see the Trophy Wife Club, the Failed Trophy Wife, the Life of a Trophy Wife, the New Trophy Wife, Tribe, the Trophy Wife Lounge, the Trophy Wife Crew. The Trophy Wife Club. Okay. Oh, it says private. They're not gonna let me in. Are you in? Hold on, they might let me in. Let me see. It says that I have to wait. It's not letting me in. It says I have to wait until they let me in. It's a private group, but it is hers. I see her as yeah, she is the admin. Yeah, it may take. She said, I don't know how to send the picture. Here, let me give you my send it to this email. Eves. She said, let me go check real quick, but I'm looking for someone like Anna Nicole. Hey, he need a hospice wife. Okay, let me know when you send it. I'll be looking for it. Gmail. She said, trophy wife sounds like a gold digger who put their love of money over the protection of their kids. She She said everything is being revealed on these guys. Yes, indeedy. I'm still waiting on the picture to come through, you guys, and then we're going to hop off. Sheba said, I hope she saved a huge chunk of that money. You know, they were married, so guess what? Oh, I got it. Okay, let me download it. I got you, fella. Okay, I think you sent me two. What in the world was she thinking? Wow. Wow. Thank you so much for that, Gabby. I do appreciate that, honey. All right, y'all. We didn't found them, honey. Now, look, now Candy got to go do her work, child. Candy, now you got to go do a backward search. Let me see if I can put both of them up at the same time. Give me a sec. She said, wait, what I gotta do? Hold on. We need to do a backward search for a guy. I don't even know his name. Do you know his name, you guys? Hold on. Let me put this one up. So this is one. Yeah, he looked like he could be a, he looked like he could be a Simon, like a Simon, a Portia husband. He looked like he could be maybe a Nigerian. I don't know. I'm just talking. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? That's her and that's him. And then here's a better picture of them. I think this is a better picture. She said he looks short. He does look short. This is a better picture of the family. Well, this is the two boys and the girl. So this is before the other two kids. He was definitely an older gentleman. I don't know what he did, but and she's pregnant right now. What do y'all think? I mean, they look nice. He looks African. That's what I thought. He looks like the guy that sung You. Wait a minute. Jesse, wait a minute. Jesse, what's Jesse's name that sung You? I can't think of Jesse's last name. Jesse somebody. He does not look like no Jesse. Jesse Powell. Yes, Morales is her last name. It's Morales. Somebody said he's definitely African. Somebody said he look like Simon's son. She definitely did that for money. Y'all funny. She's pregnant there. Yes, she's pregnant there. She looks cute pregnant. The Super Leo lady said, you'll never find another love like mine. Him holding that baby. Jesse Powell don't look like that to me. She said, yep, money grab. He looked African. Well, anyway, but that's her family. Beautiful, beautiful kids. She's still a beautiful young lady. On this one, let me show. He looked like her daddy right there, and he looked like her daddy on the other picture too. You know what I mean? He looks like her daddy on these pics to me. Even the one sitting there with her veil on. She got all that in 1 week. Good Lord. She said he's probably a prince back home in Africa. Sheba said he looks like a little scammer. Why do you say that, Sheba? I don't understand these women modern day prostitutionists. That's what I call it. Get your own bag. Candy girl. That's being mean. That's being mean. Mean. Hey, she loved her husband. You hear me? She said, how long were they married? At least 4 years. I saw what she had posted that they were married for 4 years on her Instagram. And let me tell you when that was. Hold on. Let me tell you. She probably even took it down by now. Let me see if she still have up that she's. Let me see. Hold on. Beautiful children. She was definitely showing off her now this was okay. What is 66 weeks ago? Hold on. 66 weeks ago. So there's 52 weeks in a year, right? So 66 is longer. So this is over a year ago. So they've been married for 5 years, because 66 weeks ago, she says, hey, trophies. My husband and I celebrated our 4th year anniversary the other day. And here is the one portrait tip I have learned that can benefit many feminine masculine relationships. Tip: trying to be right will never get you the response you're looking for. When I try to argue my husband down about my opinion, choice, or point of view is more correct than his, the more he wants to be right. Releasing the need to be right in turns softens your husband's heart and makes him want to see you pleased. So basically, she's saying, don't even try to be right in a relationship. Don't even try to argue with them. Basically, make him think that he's right, and and he'll want to please you more. That's what she's saying. She said the more she tries to argue her point, even if it's right, it makes him want to be right more and more and more. So 66 weeks ago, they were married for 4 years. So then it has to be 5 years now, because 52 weeks is in a year. So they've been married over 5 years. Okay. And just a month ago is when she found out what she found out. Somebody said he looks like Lou Raw or more. That's who I was thinking of. He does look like Lou Rawls. He does look like Lou Rawls, but not no Jesse Powell. He does look like Lou Rawls. Okay. She said LaTanya, her oldest daughter, by him 4-year-old. Then she has a 2-year-old and a 7-month-old baby. Yes. And then she has 2 sons that she brought into the relationship, and they have 3 together. They have 2 daughters and 1 son together. Sheba said, from Corey Thomas to this book, I'm ready to give this man a black eye. Both his eyes, black boy. She said she ready to dot the guy eyes. She said, you're not bashing no more. You're speaking your mind, and it's your panel. It's all your opinion. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you. Anyway, you guys, I just wanted to bring y'all that story. Please, let's just vet our men. Let's do a little bit better. We're going to meet men off the internet. Pay the $39. Do a background check. It may not come back with anything, But she said, more, can you go back to the family picture where she was prego? I have a question. Okay. Okay. She said, I have a question. Hold on. All right. What's the question? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What is the question? She said, girl, I've screenshotted both photos, put it into Google search. Lord, I've turned into a detective. She said, I'm going to go deeper. She was an avid Shira supporter. Well, the methods Shira teaches are blank witchcraft. Blank witchcraft. I read my Bible is witchcraft. When we come into an agreement with that, we open satanic bonds. See, I wasn't sure of the lady that she was speaking of. I do know that she said she followed some lady on YouTube, but I didn't go down that rabbit hole. So you're saying the lady that she followed that told her to marry a man 20 years her elder and marry him right away so that, he won't change his mind, I guess. You saying that she practiced witchcraft? Sheba, you funny. She said, get that alimony and child support going and move on. She manifests the demon as a husband. Ooh. So those are his kids right there. Where are the other kids? No. The two boys are hers that she brought into the relationship. That one little girl is his. The girl in her belly is his. And she just had a son like 7 or 8 months ago. Shira has a witchcraft channel. Oh, she does? Ooh, Ashira. It's called Ashira. Oh, okay. She has a witchcraft. I don't believe in that type of stuff, but I guess. Yes, she's pregnant in this one. So who had the question? Was that the question? You wanted to know, was those her children? I mean, was those his kids? They some cute kids though. Cutie patooties. And they look young too. The oldest son don't look no more than 8 or 9. Oh, I don't know, Mama 3. She said, I wonder if he taught the boys anything bad. Anything bad like what though? Hey, Angela. When you say taught him something bad, taught the boys something bad, like what? As far as what? Yeah, so we was talking earlier about if she took the kids to the hospital and CPS got involved, they probably checked out the young fellas too, the boys too. They probably checked them out as well. He's a creep. A whole creep out here. Creep. I don't know. They look kind of young. The oldest look like he might be 8. The other one look like he might be, maybe 5, 4 or 5. No, he had, yeah, in that picture, he looked like he about 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Anyway, you guys, thank you, Lamika, so very much for the coffee, Coca-Cola. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Listen, I just wanted to get this out there to you guys. It's floating around social media already. People have mixed reviews. Some people are, like I said, heart goes out to her. And some people are like, let's talk about the real problem here. When trying to marry rich goes wrong. But hey, like I said, single mom turned trophy wife, the price of marrying a stranger. my message from this is at least try to get to know them a little bit, you know, a little something, something, not no week or two. Like when you have other kids, take that in consideration, you know. When you on your own, do what you do on your own. But when you have your kids already, take extra precautions, okay? All right, you guys. Anybody else have any questions? Hey, Candy, can you can you find out who this dude is for us? I just want to know, is he in jail? Is he in jail, and is he going to lose all that money? They should give it all to her. Probably going to get it anyway. She said the son is almost as tall as that little runt. Well, good night, everybody. I love y'all. And I got to go back and edit out the malfunctions of the computer. So hopefully you guys will be able to see the video right away. Those that can't, just know that it's in the editing phase, okay? I'm just going to go back and take out the little points in the video when it was pause, okay? All right, I love you guys. Hold on. She said, when people think of grape molestation, they generally think about strangers, but it is usually a family member, someone you know, or an intimate partner. That's true. That is true, anti-violence. That is true. It happens at home more often than we speak about. You know, at home, real fathers, stepfathers, and he was the real biological father. He's a creep. I mean, he would be a creep even if it wasn't, but it was his own blood churning. You know, which is crazy. All right, y'all. Love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Bye.
Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.
Yay! She kept talking about
We
that
got these
family.
hoes over there.
She kept talking about that family. She kept talking
Internet
about that
gangsters.
family. She kept talking about that family. She kept talking about that family. That family. She kept talking about that family. Talking about that family.
These motherfuckers don't be want to regress on damn body. Because they can't make $1 without mentioning down one of our names.